Alpha Beta Consulting for Summit Integrated Services Limited, a portfolio company, a suitcase portfolio company in the United Kingdom, owned by an unknown Colombian entrepreneur. And the issue is simple. The man resides with his, in fact, the man and his children are members of the board of directors of that company. And that company is, and the man lives in Little Barranquilla in Colombia. That is a country of about 1,200,000 persons. Now that is one location. Barranquilla, you know, the Google will help you, is notorious as an export hub for heroin and cocaine. And it's been like that for years. What we are saying is that what is curious in that transaction, which Mr. Akpara did not even know. You understand me? So we don't even need Mr. Akpara. We thank him for furnishing Nigerians with those details in his petition. So we are not bothered about what transpired between him and Bola Amhed Tinubu. What is our concern is that for a man who was indicted and forfeited $460,000 to the US government in a heroin trafficking case, so as at 2015, years after that case, where he now ran back to Nigeria and joined politics and all of that, a few years after he left office, at 2015, particularly on the 18th of March 2015, a transaction in 2 tranches of over $4 million left Alpha Beta Consulting for Summit Integrated Services, a company owned by a Colombian. Now the issue is this, sir. When we checked the net worth of that company, it was a little over $50,000. Now what is the transaction for? Is he paying for an undelivered consignment? Does he have an outstanding payment? Or is it for blackmail? So these are the issues. So and it's germane. It has nothing to do with Akpara's current position or disposition. After all, if I say you owe me money and you have paid me for what you owe me, you understand? You can turn around because after all, you know, there were bedfellows before now. He was managing director. The idea for Alpha Beta, you know, came from him. He sold it to Bola Amhed Tinubu. He bought the idea and they started the company. Along the line, you know, a lot of water passed under the bridge. He now decided that, look, I am protesting this time round because a lot of water passed under the bridge. Some transactions, huge transactions, he even mentioned transactions like $1 billion that left to Vintage Press, publishers of the Nation newspaper. We are not bothered about those transactions. We are not looking at any other transaction. The one that is of particular interest to Nigerians is the one that left from Alpha Beta to Summit Integrated Services Limited. You understand me? The man is domiciled in Barranquilla. And that is why, in fact, this morning I will even tell you, Dr. Ruben Abati. You know, the other day, you know, you pontificated and you were looking at variables to see why this man talks about blah, blah, blue and all that, making those comments. Of course, 2 things are involved. 2 things. I'll tell you. One is dysarthria. Dysarthria, for me, you know, is a problem that has to do with the nervous system. And when that happens to you, you know, there is a disconnect between the brain, the lips, the jaw, and the tongue. You are a professional in the English language, and I know that you understand where I'm coming from. You may not be a therapist, but then when you combine that with the language, you know, they speak in Barranquilla, in Colombia, the language of the drugs, the language of cocaine, and all of that, you will understand this. You see, our decorous demeanor, all this while, should not be mistaken for docility. We know what we are talking about. We know what it is. And that is why this time round, we have decided that, look, Nigerians must know that what is wrong is wrong. If a man, you know, when we talked about the issue of his forfeiture, criminal forfeiture of $460,000 before now, they say, oh, it's a dead issue and all that. This is a live issue. This transaction took place in 2015. With many more transactions. You see, that press conference you saw yesterday was just part 1. Many more transactions left the account of Alpha Beta, left the account of Lagos State government many years, in fact, while he was in office, till when he left office, until today. So we are saying that if you said that, okay, look, 460,000 forfeiture was in the past. We are talking of the present. We are talking of live issues. It's about Nigeria. It's about our people. It's about making the right choice. It's about taking the right decision. So it is not as if Akpara's capitulation has anything to do. No, sir. It has nothing to do with us. Frank, it did well.
Frank, yes. We're trying to manage time. But very quickly, if you can do it in less than a second, if that is possible. Now, all these ultimatums that you spokespersons are giving state agencies, EFCC, NDLA, NAFDAC, what gives you the confidence that those agencies will take directive from campaign spokespersons?
Dr. Abati, you see, the truth is this. If you notice, if you followed our press conference yesterday, we did not give ultimatum. We did not compel. You understand? We are not as loquacious and like our opponents in the other party, who use apparatus of the state, particularly when you serve in government. You're a minister of government, and you are compelling against using obnoxious language to compel another state agent to say, you give them 72 hours. We don't do that. We are not in a military state. We even told them, look, yesterday we referred to the Code of Conduct Bureau, for instance. The CCTV, the Code of Conduct Bureau and the Code of Conduct Tribunal, that said some time ago that, look, during the trial of Federal Republic of Nigeria versus Bukola Saraki, when they said that, look, our acquittal of not acquittal, our dismissal of the case against Bola Amhed Tinubu was done in error. We said no problem. Bola Amhed Tinubu is alive, and this is a live issue. So since he was not acquitted, why not still try him? Why not investigate him? It was an appeal. We don't give ultimatums.
Okay, Frank Shaibu, would like to thank you very much indeed for joining.